Hi, I'm Louise Johnson, the CEO of Fuse, the sport and entertainment agency. And here are my biggest lessons. Step into the fear. We are living in uncertain and turbulent times. As a leader, I've found it's a constant process of learning and adapting. In my career, I've dealt with two crises, the banking crisis and of course the most recent pandemic, where the sports industry shut down for the first time since World War II. Nobody gave me a playbook of how to deal with this, so my biggest lesson was to step into the fear and act quickly. From here, I had to take little steps, not boil the ocean, and start thinking, what do I do next, not what do I do? And what I found that by acting quickly, I was then able to take the learnings and build and take confidence from that. Act through strong values. We all know that a value-driven business can be more successful. When we started the business, we grew so quickly that it was all about the work and the mantra of let the work do the talking. However, as we got bigger, I realised that to be good leaders, the organisation needed a wider purpose and a set of values for our people to get behind. We came up with the North Star to be the #1 sport and entertainment agency in any holding group. Our proposition was to help our clients build their businesses through the power of sport and entertainment. How we did that was to be the most recommended agency to our people, partners and clients. And most importantly, our set of values of how we acted and behaved was inspired by our late founder, David Pennington, to be trusted, collaborative, committed and restless. And this, I believe, is the key to our success. Leading through a crisis is hard work, but rewarding. One of the biggest lessons I've had around leading through a crisis is it's definitely changed me. I've had to step into the fear and grieve the past, the good old days. This has definitely made me smarter, stronger, and have a much broader perspective on what's important. I've also found that to do that, you need to really check in with yourself and see how you are showing up to the agency in times of crisis, when people are looking at you for answers and directions. To do this, I had to really think about how am I feeding and watering myself to make sure I was eating well, sleeping and getting loads of exercise to make sure that I was showing up in the right way. I also felt that optimism was key to success during these times. We had to celebrate the wins, whether they were big or small, and actually being really present across the agency was really important at this time. It went a long way, but it also made me get better relationships with people that I wouldn't necessarily have had with the agency. So it was a really good opportunity for me to build more and more meaningful relationships with my own team. You cannot fail unless you quit. During the first lockdown, I read Nancy Cohen's book, Forged in Crisis. This looked at 5 leaders in crisis, and one of them was Abraham Lincoln. This quote, "You cannot fail unless you quit," really resonated with me during the time. Again, we were going through the pandemic where nobody had done this before. And actually, I had such a personal and professional responsibility to weather this storm to protect all of our employees. This is what really kept me going and drove me not to quit. Take learnings from the world of sport. Be restless and challenge the status quo. As a female CEO in the sports industry, I was so incredibly proud of what the Lionesses achieved this summer, winning the Euros. What struck me was their complete ambition to win and do it in their own way. They had no legacy to hold them back. They weren't any expectations on them, but they just had this complete desire to do it their way, win, work hard and have fun along the way. For me, this really inspired me that in business, we need to challenge the status quo, don't take second best and be restless.